Hello again, I'm back for more business news, and the Ghana Association of Teachers, GNAT, says there is a need for governments to critically examine plans to use the pensions fund to support the Ghana Amalgamated Trust. The General Secretary of GNAT, David Ofori-Achampong, is however advocating fair representation on the board of the Ghana Amalgamated Trust to monitor how funds will be used.
Well, we as a union have our pensions tied up to the second tier. We have our funds that is available to us for investment. What is important is that we should be able to invest and rake in more interest to pay more money to our teachers when they retire. So if it's an investment policy that is going to give us better income, why not? But the issue is that we think that there's more to be discussed than what is there. Because you see, if you want to commit our funds to do this particular business, we don't have a problem because we are Ghanaians and we must ensure that we protect Ghanaian businesses. I mean, currently, if you look at the bank landscape, most of the banks operating are foreigners. We don't have most of our indigenous banks operating. They are the ones suffering because it's difficult to raise capital because they are located in Ghana. For the others, they are outside, so they can easily raise the capital that they need. And therefore, we think that it's a good step, but there should be more discussion. For example, GNAT. Are you going to put the workers on the board of GNAT if you want to involve our pension funds in administering and resurrecting some of the banks? The governance structure of the banks. Since our monies are going to be there, are you going to give us a place to sit on the board to ensure that our monies are properly used based on the experience of the past? So that at least we can protect the pensions of our people.
You said experience of the past. What's the experience like?
Come on, but you heard it.
No, you told
Bank of Ghana sent monies to banks to make them solvent. The monies were misapplied, for which reasons some banks have been put together under the Consolidated Bank of Ghana. Are we going to sit to have the same experience again? Since these are pension funds, and we are investing for the future, we must ensure that they are properly invested. We must ensure there's proper governance structure. If you are turning out loans to people, what are the securities? Are you sure that after the person has given you enough guarantees and the person defaults, are you able to go for this, whatever the guarantees, and make back your money? These are very serious matters that we need to talk about. I think the last time we met them, we raised these issues, and they are going to come back to us again for us to have a finality to the discussion. But for now, yes, in principle, we don't have a problem with that, but we have to be involved in how our monies are used to prop up these banks.
You think fair representation on the board will solve the issue and will make sure that they use the money properly?
Well, that is one.
Okay.
Now, if we are being asked to sacrifice, sure, as Ghanaians, we should look at it positively, but we want to see what is done with our monies. GNAT board, how many worker representatives are on the board to ensure that the monies we put in there are put to the use for which the GNAT itself has been established. The banks that ought to be supported, my understanding is that NIB needs about 1.5 billion. So if you want to take 1.5 billion of the teachers' pension to NIB, are you going to give us representation on the NIB board to ensure that these monies, when given to the bank, will be used judiciously to ensure that we rake in the necessary revenue that we need to protect our pension funds?
Time now to look at the performance of trading on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and Betha Atubiga, research analyst of Gold Coast, is here to help out with the analysis.
This week has not been so different from what we've been experiencing. The dollar, for instance, recorded no change. I mean, when you talk about the year-to-date depreciation, daily depreciations or appreciations of the cedi against these major trading currencies, we didn't see much change with the dollar on Monday. However, it depreciated by 0.15% on Tuesday, lost 0.00%. That means there was no change on Thursday and Wednesday. Sorry, and Thursday, it lost 0.12% to the dollar. It's currently recording year-to-date depreciation of 3.12% to the dollar. And to the euro, we saw it depreciating throughout the week. That means it lost from Monday to Thursday. It lost 0.13% on Monday and lost 0.33% on Thursday, recording year-to-date depreciation of 4.53%. These are based on the Gold Coast cedi index. And the euro, however, appreciated against the dollar. The cedi appreciated against the euro on the interbank market, went up by 0.20%, and by close of yesterday we saw it appreciating by 0.08% and records a year-to-date decline of 2.32%. And we're expecting the first quarter of this year for the cedi, we are expecting it to close not less than 3%. That's the year-to-date depreciation. We're expecting it to be around 3% by end of first quarter. And the reason being that if we see further depreciations, we expect the managers of the cedi to come in with some interventions so that we don't see it depreciate further than we expect. And moving on to the tradings on the Ghana Stock Exchange, by close of trade yesterday, we didn't see significant shares trading. Only 28,121 shares were traded, give us a value of 39,893.78 Ghana cedis. We had 14 equities participated in trade, and it ended with 4 gainers and just 1 loser. Leading the gainers list, we had the Trust Bank Limited, the Gambia, adding the most investors' capital, 13.04% share price appreciation, followed by we also saw some other equities. ETI went up by 6.6.
Time now to check out some major commodities traded on the world market.
Yesterday's trading.
It's a wrap on business with me, Sandra Esenamafenu. Thanks so much for your time throughout the week. Do enjoy your weekend. In the meantime, you can check all our stories on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Have a great weekend.